race against Max quite often, actually. There's been a few times where we just pop in the same lobby as each other and we just have a random fight and then we leave, and that's kind of it. We don't really speak about it anymore.
You've obviously been here over a year now since you first raced. How have you changed in a year? I can tell you straight away that, you know, you're a lot better at this kind of stuff that we have to do.
I would say the media kind of thing is probably where I've improved the most. Being in front of a camera and being able to get my words out and express myself properly and how I would want to, I'm able to do that now. But I would say generally I'm a bit more complete as a driver. Of course, the media side of things, the racing side of things, I've learned quite a lot, even though I didn't feel like it was ever a struggle. I felt like I still needed to improve. The qualifying pace was always there, and I feel like that is still very much there. I just feel more complete and, of course, comfortable now I'm 1 year into the championship.
How away from the track has it changed you? Because when we first spoke, you were sim racing or sim racing, and if you weren't racing or sim racing, you were maybe training to race or sim race. The golf is still not quite taken off, is it?
Not yet. I'm definitely watching a lot more Netflix now than what I was before. So okay. I would say outside of the track, I'm taking things a little bit slower, but sim racing is still taking up the majority of my time. But slowly but surely, I might become a little bit more normal, I guess.
Okay. You came across from F2, and obviously I can imagine that is one of the most competitive situations because you've got drivers who have kind of been on a path since they were kids and they are so close to getting into either Formula 1 or Formula E or a world championship, basically. How much contact do you still have with some of those other drivers? Because you kind of ended the season early last year. You came across here and you've done so well. It must be eye-opening to some of the other drivers who maybe don't see a clear path to them to maybe F1 that they're hoping for.
To be completely honest, I don't speak to that many of the F2 drivers. I think a lot of them are very, very focused on F1 and perhaps a little bit close-minded. I think Formula E is a great championship to come into. I'm personally loving it. Of course, I'm doing well, so I'm going to be a little bit biased, but I think it's a great championship. It's a great alternative to F1. What everyone else's plans in F2 at the moment is obviously up to them, but I think it's definitely a great alternative.
There's a lot of, I guess, growing up that you have to do when you come across from something like F2 into this world.
Yeah.
And how have you dealt with that? Has that been a struggle for you? Because you came in as a kind of kid, technically, and now, you've recently celebrated your 21st birthday and hugely matured, and now you're doing incredibly well. So that comes with more attention from the media.
Yeah, I definitely think that my maturity and I think it's, again, just being more complete as a driver. I do feel like when I joined Formula E, I felt like a kid. I did feel like a kid coming from F2, and there was so much for me to learn, and I was thrown, of course, in at the deep end, but it was such a massive step up in terms of how big the world is and how it feels. Now I'm definitely more comfortable with that kind of environment, and I feel like I've settled in well. So when I say complete as a driver, I don't just mean like in terms of performance, just generally off track as well, and I guess that kind of falls under that.
Talking about growing up, I heard a rumour that you and Alex Stern have both been banned from online game lobbies. Can you just elaborate on that slightly?
I mean, when we do sim racing, part of that is also trying to have fun and fight with each other on track, and I don't know how long ago that was now, probably like 9 months ago now. We did get into a bit of a situation where we probably shouldn't be driving that aggressively.
I was going to say, how do you get banned? Is it just aggressive driving? Because we know Alex is pretty aggressive in his driving style.
Yeah, but also like because iRacing's an American service, most of their racing is done in an oval. So if you do super aggressive defending or things like that, it can be deemed as blocking or whatever, and then you get banned for that. So I wouldn't say that what we did was horrendous, honestly. I think it's nothing that you don't see in Formula E every day, that's for sure. But that was about 9 months ago now, and I've been on iRacing for the last few months. I actually did walk-in 6 hour, the official event not long ago, and I was on pole, and I led the first hour with my team, Drago Racing, which was quite cool. I tried to do as many of them events as possible because that kind of world is super competitive as well, and when Max has the availability, he does it as well. So I think it's not just me. There's definitely a few real life drivers which get their hands stuck in as well. Yeah,
we see a lot of Max with his team, Redline, right?
Yeah.
And he pops up and he's often doing it on race weekends and F1, which I don't know if he's allowed to do that anymore, but I know he's been doing it. Have you been in a lobby and suddenly like a big name has dropped in and you're like, hang on a minute?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I race against Max quite often, actually. There's been a few times where we just pop in the same lobby as each other and we just have a random fight and then we leave and that's kind of it. We don't really speak about it anymore. But to be able to have that kind of experience with someone like Max, I think's amazing. And to be able to race so closely and spend a lot of time racing someone with that kind of experience, that it means a lot. Not only that I can keep up and that I can fight him, but also to be able to spend that time with someone like him. That's an opportunity that you wouldn't usually get if it was not for sim racing. So I definitely think it's a good tool to use for racecraft and learning these kind of different abilities in racecraft and things like that. So that's definitely why I'm sticking to my sim racing for now.
Also a huge social thing as well.
Yeah.
Saw that in the pandemic a lot. People
Yeah.
playing computer games just to hang out with their mates, kind of virtually.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's also a part of it, right? There's quite a lot of people in my team now, and I'm very good friends with them on track, not only off track. So yeah, I think it's a great experience for everyone.
For you, what's the aim? Where do you want to finish?
I want to finish second because that's the best I possibly can. But if I can have a podium in the championship, let's say, if I could be in the top 3 in my rookie season, that'll be mission complete, I would say. Of course, I've had a few good results this year. If I could win a race in the last 4, that'd also be amazing. But the ultimate goal is to try to finish second in the championship.
I think that would almost tick everything off in your first season if you were to win a race. Obviously, you've got a bit of time off before next season. Have you already got a holiday booked?
Not really. I'm now moving house. I'm moving into an apartment, so that'll be a different experience.
You and Alex done together, chilling out?
Not quite.
No, okay.
I think he's going to move kind of close to me, so that might be something for the future. But yeah, it's going to be a different chapter of my life.
Is this your first place on your own?
Yeah. So
what are you most worried about? Bills?
No,
paying the gas bill on time?
No, that's okay. Probably my washing, to be completely honest.
And the internet speed as well. You need to make sure
I'll make sure that's sorted. That's
probably the first thing you looked at before you viewed anywhere, right?
It was. Yeah.
You can get someone to do your washing for you. You're a racing driver.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm very good at cooking now. I said I'm being more complete as a person. My cooking's definitely come on, so I'm quite happy with that.
What's your special dish? What's your date night dish if you're making a meal?
My parents do a very good creamy pasta with steak on top, and I tried it. On
top of pasta?
Yeah.
That's rogue.
It was really good. And I tried it the other night at my girlfriend's place, and it was, I have to say, I was quite surprised with myself. So
really?
Yeah, I would say that one.
What was her review though?
Her and her parents thought that it was amazing, so I was like, okay, I've got approval from someone else, so it wasn't just myself.